It's nice to see you again, Westchester. It is Friday, October 24th, 2025, and I'm Benita Ties with the Westchester Chronicle. This past Saturday the 18th, thousands of people gathered here in Westchester to once again protest the current presidential administration. This was part of the second national No Kings protest, one of many across the country organized by the groups Indivisible and 5051. Turnout was larger than the previous protest, with several thousand protesters appearing before the historic courthouse steps. There were many speakers present, including several members of the Party for Socialism and Liberation.
The world saw the power of people and a massive rejection of authoritarian rule with No Kings won. And here we are again. I first would like to acknowledge the PSL and Way Forward, who have helped us co-organize this event here today.
Let us be clear. Trump deploying National Guard is not about safety, but it's a racist attack on our communities. Yeah. Militarizing the police and sending in National Guard does nothing to protect or serve our communities. Matter of fact, it does the opposite. Enforcing unjust curfews, attacking civilians, and polluting the environment with military weapons and vehicles destroys our neighborhoods. We know that safety is not created by more police or by the military taking over our most oppressed neighborhoods, but it is more resources, opportunities, and community care that keeps us safe.
ICE came to life in 2003, built not for protection, but for punishment. It is a weaponized arm of state terror, increasingly funded since its inception. It thrives on fear. Corporations like Geo Group and Core Civic profit from incarcerations. Right in our own state, Geo Group runs the for-profit Moshannon Valley Processing Center in Phillipsburg. Human beings are subjected to inhumane conditions. They are victims of racist harassment, physical abuse, and torture in the form of prolonged solitary confinement.
Fuck ICE!
They are extorted for what little they have. These are human beings being detained without due process.
We at the Westchester Chronicle strive to keep our neighbors informed by documenting events that happen here in the borough. If you are organizing an event and would like us to come out and cover it, you can reach out to us at westchesterchronicle@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Back in July, the Business Improvement District's Executive Director, John O'Brien, presented their 5-year plan for the Business Improvement District. At this month's Borough Council meetings, a hearing was held to authorize the plan, which includes an expansion of 85 additional parcels to the Business Improvement District. The new areas include South High Street up to High and Price, East Market Street up to Franklin, and East Gay Street up to North Penn. The new boundaries will take the bid from this to this. The expansion falls in line with the bid's goals to recruit new businesses that are a mix of retail stores, restaurants, professional offices, and personal care services, with a priority of small businesses over large corporations. While there were none who could deny the bid's positive impact on the borough, especially within the last 5 years, there were several objections to the expansion of the bid from business owners. The first of the objections focused on how the parcels included in the expansion were notified of the change.
I have quite a few properties in the borough of Westchester. I did not receive a notice on this. It was only through Eric that I learned of the problem at hand. And if I'm a large property owner, somebody should have come and individually spoke to me about it. I'll follow the law. Law says I've got to file it in the newspaper on a certain date prior to this meeting tonight. This is an important subject matter. It's like a new tax of 2.3%.
The biggest problem, I think, is a lot of the owners in the expansion area received the plan, looked at it and said, well, I'm not in the bid, and put it aside, which is what I did, right? I didn't pay any attention to it. The July mailing was, as I said, a one-page letter, and the 5-year plan again. The two mentions of expansion in the plan, one is the thing that I just mentioned, on page 3 in John's letter, and the other one is all the way at the back where it talks about holiday decorations. And it said, especially, holiday decorations, something about the expansion area. If you read that plan and you are an owner in the expansion area, you have no idea that this affects you. There's a list of tax parcels in the back that's pages and pages long. You would have to leaf through that to find out that you're in there. There's a map of the bid, but it doesn't show the old bid or the existing bid in the expansion area. It's just a map. It's clearly the owners in the expansion area, didn't get much of a notification. And even if all of us knew about it, and even if like 60 out of the 85 had objected, it still wouldn't have been enough. So I'm asking you to reject the plan, the 5-year plan. I wish I could have been here in July. I would have told you that. And ask the bid to just reauthorize the existing district. And then, as far as expansion, and John mentioned here tonight that there are several parcel owners that wanted to be included in the bid, and that's fine, and I don't want to get in the way of that. But I think that we should go the route that was done 25 years ago, to have community meetings, to have more intake, more input from the owners in the expansion area to work out what the expansion should be, and then go forward with a plan that already has most people agreeing with it.
Further objections focused on the bid's exemptions for residential units. Though the bid's 5-year plan will continue to keep the millage assessment rate, also known as the property tax rate, that they have kept since 2015, assessment exemptions will be given to parcels that have residential units in them.
I will not debate nor say anything derogatory about what BID has done for this borough. I was born here, I grew up here. I'm very impressed with what I see. However, I also recognize there's a funding concern. And that's part of the reason, if not the reason, for the 85. On the High Street side, as you go south for the new area, there really aren't that many businesses. And as you've heard me in the past say, I really think there's an imbalance, an unfairness of giving exemptions to that portion of any building that has residential usage. That means, in my case, the full building I have is fully commercial, has no residential. So I'll be paying my fair share. But if I'm correct, Mr. O'Brien, if you were to take away that residential exception right now for the existing property owners, you would raise about $94,000. If you take in what I believe they're hoping to get with adding us 85 with the residential exclusion included, it's about $55,000. Does that number sound about right? Okay. It's obvious if you're looking for a solution, which I can appreciate their board has been doing, and I compliment them for that. They run a business and they're trying to be business savvy. It would make more sense to look to those property owners that directly benefit. I mean, when you have an apartment complex, you're getting good rent. Why? Because the people that rent from you are very happy to be in the center of town.
Again, we're not against the reauthorization of BID. We've been residents of Westchester for 35 years and enjoyed all the wonderful things that BID has done for the downtown Westchester. But it seems short-sighted that you're looking to generate revenue from a small number of properties through the expansion, as opposed to generating more revenue from the individuals who are actually benefiting most from the initiatives of the BID. So again, we're just asking that even though this is probably going forward after tonight, and we'll say after 5 years, we see how things go, the bottom line is you're still disproportionately burdening those properties that are 100% commercial with the expenses associated with BID initiatives, when you could instead be spreading them out among those entities, those parcels that should in fact be paying for the benefit they're receiving from BID's initiatives.
According to Borough Council Vice President Nicole Shimoni, though the concerns raised were valid, the number of concerns did not meet the minimum percentage of objections to stop the BID's plan from going through.
So, I've heard the objections, starting back a couple of months ago from the individuals that have even spoken tonight. And I took them very seriously. I listened. I talked to John about them quite a bit, and I really was thoughtful, because we don't want to be a borough that, taxation without representation kind of thing, right? We want to be able to do this and expand honestly. Where my head goes this evening even, and you'll see this, is at the end of the day, there has been plenty of time at this point. The word has gotten out. If there was it has public, people show up when they start to hear things and rumors get out. And I would say to the people that are opposing this as well, if you really were truly against it, you should also have done your due diligence and helped to rally the troops if you were against it. And I think you did some of that for sure. But at the end of the day, even that 85 parcel was only at the 9%, right? It wasn't 20%, it wasn't 35%, it was 9%. So when I see that, I hear what you guys are saying. I think you've made some really great comments and all of that, but I don't know how much we can sit here and say that the objection, even from the new parcels, is overwhelming enough to, at least from my perspective, push for a reconsideration at this point. That's how I see it. If you'd have rallied more troops and a bunch of people, even if we parsed it out and it was 25% or something, I'd be like, John, but I'm just not, unfortunately, I'm not saying it, but I hear you guys. I think you guys had some good comments. I also do think, the whole point about apartment owners that are businesses not getting part of the bid, I think that's a valid call out. So, but that's just my thought. And I wanted to just let you guys know that your objections haven't gone on deaf ears. It's just getting back to that percentage. It's kind of hard to say that you had enough of it to make the process change after there has been a long process that has been followed to the best of everyone's ability.
The bid's 5-year plan with the proposed expansions was approved unanimously by Borough Council. Only time will tell if the new parcels in the bid will reap as many benefits as the current businesses who are already in it. You can read the bid's full 5-year report at west-chester.com. This upcoming Sunday, the 26th, Westchester will be holding its annual Halloween parade. The parade will begin at 1 p.m. Sorry, Eagles fans. It will be at the intersection of Church and Market Street and will feature candy stations throughout the route as it loops around downtown. Costumes are encouraged, tricks are anticipated, and treats are guaranteed. We hope to see you there, but we'll understand if you'll be watching the big game. Now, before we head out, our editor Kyle Hudson has some big news for you.
Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Hudson, Editor-in-Chief here at the Westchester Chronicle. I want to take a second to thank you for tuning in, and I want to share an exciting next step we are taking here at the Westchester Chronicle. It has been our goal to provide unbiased journalism and keep our neighbors informed of what goes on in our area from week to week. It started out as live streams of public meetings, then Bonita and I started recording Zoom calls, and now we're here at the studio in a line space here in the heart of Westchester. Well, starting next month, we are going to be launching a print edition and website so we can bring even more news to more people. To do this, we're shaking things up a bit. To our current subscribers, thank you. We've made it this far because of you. However, being our subscriber will now come with a fantastic new perk: an issue of the Westchester Chronicle delivered to your door every week. We're also going to expand to allow advertising in our new paper, so if you're a business that wants to get in front of thousands of Westchester area residents every week, reach out. We'd love to work with you. We will have more details as we get closer to launch, but sign up on Patreon and be the first to find out. Thanks again for tuning in, and have a great weekend. Take it away, Bonita.
Thank you, Kyle. As always, we want to thank you for your time, and we hope to see you soon. Until then, I'm Bonita Times with the Westchester Chronicle.